Hello and welcome to Quick Tip 64, and in this tutorial or in this quick tip we're going to be looking at how we share information from Radarscreen to charts. This is very similar to what I did in tutorial 161, but this time we're going from Radarscreen to in fact two charts. So let me just explain how this is set up. We have a sender program applied actually twice to Radarscreen. I've just got it applied to two symbols, Amazon and Google, and these two, you can't see it here, but the input for them, it has one input, and we're just going to be sending a average from the Radarscreen to the chart. So it's just one input. This input has an input of one value, and this one an input of another value. So that same program is applied twice to Radarscreen. And then we have a receiver program which is applied to this chart and also to this chart. And if you look at the numbers here, you can see that those numbers are being reflected. So here we have the same information that we're sending from the sender chart, or from the sender Radarscreen, is being plotted on the chart in the receiver program. And if you look at those numbers carefully, you'll see that they are the same. So let's have a look at the programs. And first of all, let's have a look at the sender program. We have a global dictionary, and we set that up in a one statement here. And the syntax is the name of the global dictionary equals global dictionary.create. And then we have true, because we're sharing between a chart and Radarscreen. And then we give it a unique name, which I've called QT64 in this example. And as I say, we're plotting an average. So we're just plotting the average of close, and the period of that is defined by a user input av length. Then having done that, we want to put the value of that average into the dictionary. The syntax for that is avdict, the name of our dictionary, dot items, and then in square brackets we have, and it looks a little complicated because of the approach I've taken, but essentially this is just a unique string, and that is set to equal another string. Now we're actually sending a number, so we have to change the number to a string using num to string in this case. We're doing that as type string. Now the reason I've done this using the symbol name and the input is because we need to somehow tell the chart what it's seeing. We need to give it some idea of what the number, where the number is coming from. So for example, if you were doing this with another, I've just used average, it's very simple, but if you were doing this with another program that plots a value on the Radarscreen, then you would need to create a key string and make sure that that same key is going to be used on the receiving chart as well. So you'll probably understand that a little better when we look at the receiving chart, so, or rather the receiving program. So let's go to the receiving program, and similarly to the sending program, the first thing we do is we set up the dictionary using exactly the same syntax. And incidentally, if you are unclear of any of the syntax, you can go to dictionary, which I'm not seeing on my screen here at the moment, but dictionary, and type in global dictionary, then you'll see the syntax. So we create the dictionary using the same syntax on the receiving program. And then the only other thing we need to do is we need a couple of events when we add an item and when an item is changed. If we right click on item added and go to definition of item added, and then go to events, and then you'll see this thing here, item processed events arg. So to get an idea of what syntax you're going to use is if you just look up here, this is the syntax we're going to use, and that's going to tell us when a new value is added to the global, or the value is changed, or it's added for the first time. And you'll notice that this syntax is the same as ours, apart from because well, I've got a different name to start with, and we're just going to be using this just to tell us when the value is changed or added to the global dictionary. So let's have a look at this method, which is also included in the receiving program, update avdict event. And we're just using it just so every time something is added or changed, then we run this method. Here we say if the dictionary dot contains, and then we're looking for one of the names that we just put in. We know that our convention is we're using a string which contains the symbol name and the input to the sender program to calculate the average. In one of the cases we're using a value of 7 and in the other we're using 14. So we're saying if it contains that, then we're going to put the string that is included in the key string, or rather the key value, into text. So text is going to be avdict.items and then the same key as type string, and then we're going to plot that text value after we've converted it to a number. So that's going to pick up the same symbol as is on the Radarscreen row and is on the chart. So let's just go back to our chart and you'll see that the first row is Amazon and we have a chart of Amazon. So for the 7, which is this one here, it's going to plot that on the chart. And then we're going to do something very similar for the 14. Now remember that the second column in Radarscreen, I've got user input of 14. So that is going to pick up the same value again for Amazon, but with an input of 14. Now it doesn't have to be the symbol that's on the chart, because what I've also done is I've said if the dictionary contains a key of Google and then the number as a string, then we're going to get the value that's included in that key value pair and we're going to plot that. And that time here we're just directly expressing the name as a string. It could be anything. We could have called it Mickey Mouse, so long as it's the same on the Radarscreen and the chart that we want to pick up that value for. And similarly for Goog for a period of 14. Okay, so that is the main parts of program. You see I've declared some namespaces here, elsystem.collections, which contains the global dictionary, also elsystem. You will be able to see more information about these two programs on the program page. Also, take a look at tutorial 161, which covers very similar material and includes perhaps a little more explanation and detail. If you like this sort of stuff, please subscribe to this video channel and also go to Markplex, that's markplex.com, and join the email list so that I can let you know when I create new programs and tutorials. Anyway, thank you for watching.